welcome along to the first ever West Wales Karting Virtual Championship race. So we're starting the championship here today at Brands Hatch Indy Circuit, the 1.19 mile 6-turn circuit, incorporating some of the best corners on the Brands Hatch track. And we have lots of drivers lined up today, and we're using these Ginetta G40 race cars. And you can see there D-Man 221 has taken pole position by nearly 0.3 of a second from Alex EDL. A fantastic lap there for Team Ireland. As you can see, we've got team names as well, which we'll talk about a bit in a second. Cherry Berry lines up on 3rd, Chris Doherty is in 4th, Scuderi Sam down in 5th. And they're on the grid now, and they're watching for the lights, and the revs rise for the first championship race, and it's go here at Brands Hatch, and D-Man gets a storming start from pole position, and Cherry Berry is up into 2nd. The bad start for Alex CDL, and Scuderi Sam going around the outside there of BDCC Dan, and they come together a little bit on the curve at Paddock Hill Bend, and there's still clashing wheels going into Druids. And BDCC Dan's got the inside line, and meanwhile Stuart Davis and Alex are battling just up ahead as well, but BDCC Dan's got ahead of Scuderi Sam, but Scuderi Sam goes down the inside, and they touch wheels again, and I think he's ahead this time, and there's all action all the way through the field here, as we are only halfway through the first lap already. And now they're going through McLaren and Clearway's corner up into Clarkove, and oh, that was close. And Scuderi Sam nearly got taken out by BDCC Dan there, who tried to do a lunge. But he's lost a lot of momentum now as BDCC Dan. And Chris Doherty here is in 3rd position, and he's lining up. Oh, there's a big crash in the back. I think that was BDCC Dan and Crazy Stewpot coming together. We might see a replay of that. And you can see Chris Doherty now is really harrowing the back of Cherry Berry's car. And he tries to go around the outside. This is a brave manoeuvre if it comes off, but he hasn't quite managed it, and now he's under threat himself from Alex CDL in that white car. Alex CDL tries to go around the outside, but he gets pushed wide onto the grass, and Chris Doherty keeps that position. And where's Alex gone? And that's Stuart Davis in the mirrors, so Alex has lost lots of positions. He's down in 10th according to the timing screen, so let's see a replay here of exactly what happened. Oh, this is the start, so this is on board with Chris Doherty, Team Ireland, the green cars, and he gets a great start ahead of Alex EDL there, who's starting in 2nd. Cherry Berry there just ahead, and Cherry Berry I think was having a little look, he's having a little look into Druids at D-Man, but he's a little bit too far behind. And oh look, they come together a little bit. Chris Doherty and Cherry Berry come together a bit in Druids, and as they exit, and now we're looking at the start again, this time on board from BDCC Dan. He tries to go down the inside of Stuart Davis. It was Stuart Davis he tangled with at the top of Paddock Hill Bend. He lost the momentum, and that gave Scuderi Sam a run around the outside as they go into Druids. So 2 cars side by side there, and also up ahead as Alex and Stuart Davis are battling too. Oh, and then Scuderi Sam just comes down the inside and he says, "Not today, thank you very much." And now we're looking, I think it's at the end of the first lap, on board with Big Bad Wolf. And you see, oh yes, they just didn't leave each other racing room there. That was BDCC Dan getting completely KO'd on the pit straight with Crazy Stewpot. And this is what happened to Alex CDL. Oh look, he's way up onto the grass there. He just lost control over the curve as he tried to go around the outside. It's a bit of a shame for Alex. He had a fantastic qualifying lap. He's very quick at this circuit. But this has given D-Man an absolutely fantastic chance to nab some early points in this championship. And as we look now, as they come round onto the 3rd lap, it's D-Man who holds a 1.5 second lead over Cherry Berry. And then Chris Doherty is in 3rd. Stuart Davis is in 4th place. Scuderi Sam now is in 5th. We're riding on board now with Stuart Davis's orange G40 machine. These G40 cars, the Ginetta's a company, obviously, with a very long history in racing. And Stuart Davis runs a bit wide there, but he's not going to lose too much momentum, I don't think. Long history in racing since 1958. And these G40s are an entry level for many aspiring GT racers. And there is actually a championship that runs around the UK with these cars, so this is quite a good way to run a championship using these cars. 1/8 series, very even. Don't know why Stuart Davis is turning his windscreen wipers on there, because I don't think there's any rain forecast for this race by the looks of it. And you see just up ahead there, oh, that's Chris Doherty running very wide. I think he just got on the inside curb. If you get on the inside curb at that corner, then you can get two wheels up and lose a bit of momentum or even spin. We've seen that in practice from a few drivers. So you need to treat the curbs carefully around this track. Some of them are your friends, some of them are your enemy, and you need to learn which ones are which. And Stuart Davis certainly knows that Scuderia Sam's his enemy in this race. He's seeing him close up in his wing mirrors as we've got a car exiting the pits there in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. I think that might be Big Bad Wolf because he's down in the 11th now. There are two yellow cars, there's Unfixed Throne and Big Bad Wolf. And Scuderia Sam trying to get around Stuart Davis. Stuart Davis, one of the best defenders in the business. Scuderia Sam is looking all the way over the back of this car, trying to find a way through. He's not finding a way through at the moment. So we've got a battle for second and third, and a battle for fourth and fifth, and riding on board now with Scuderia Sam. And oh look, that's Chris Doherty. Chris Doherty is off the track just before the last corner. Incredible, what happened there? Did he just lose control over one of those curbs? I think he might have done. That's a shame for Chris, because he's been absolutely on fire here at Brands Hatch. And oh, let's get very close indeed. Oh, and they touch a little bit. There's Scuderia Sam and Stuart Davis, but they managed to fight for another corner. And Stuart Davis going defensive into Druids, and he's making sure that Scuderia Sam can't get that cut back on him, but he's managed to a little bit, and that's Big Bad Wolf has had an incident. And Scuderia Sam now going around the outside. Is he going to get pushed wide? He goes up onto the curb a bit, and now they're side by side. It's a drag race to the next corner. They're almost touching wheels, and they are touching wheels a little bit, going through clearways, going through McLaren. And now up onto Clark Curve, and Scuderia Sam has managed to get that third place away from Stuart Davis. So now he needs to make sure he covers the lunge, because Stuart Davis is very well known for his opportunistic lunge manoeuvres, of course, Mr. Lunge himself. And now riding on the bumper with Stuart Davis, he'll be having a look at the Druids surely here, look, but Scuderia Sam's wise to it. He covers the inside line, and Stuart Davis will try, you've got two options there, you can either brake and try and get back on the inside coming out of the corner, or you can try and go around all the way around the outside. And oh, that Stuart Davis lost a bit of momentum there. I think he might have been some slight contact between the two of them. They're away now, but Stuart Davis has lost a little bit of time now to Scuderia Sam, unfortunately. So Scuderia Sam now, he's free to chase after Cherryberry in second, who is now 4.5 seconds behind this man here, D-Man 221 in the green machine, Team Ireland. We have got lots of different teams, of course the drivers have been paired, and we will see that at the end of the race, the exact team stand-ins. And I think that green car just ahead there of D-Man was his teammate, the other Team Ireland driver, Chris Doherty. So Chris Doherty's obviously was up near the front, and he's had an incident after battling with Cherryberry, and I think he's made his pit stop as well. So he's well behind now on this relatively short circuit. Scuderia Sam running very wide, too wide. He's lost control and slams into the barrier on the inside of the circuit. What on earth happened there? Completely lost control of the car up on the grass, and he's lost loads of positions now to back down in 6th, and that was Baz the Ninja getting through there into 5th. So Baz the Ninja's had a fantastic start here. He's in the top 5 already in this race, and he's just been keeping it clean. And the same can be said for Unfixed Throne too. He's in 4th position, and Scuderia Sam decides he's going to come into the pits after that, catch a bit of a breather, and try and drive flat out for the rest of this race. So it's damage limitation already for Scuderia Sam. And there's Alex CDL, who's made his pit stop. He's going to be very close actually to him when he exits the pits, as Alex CDL rounds the last corner now. Of course he had an incident of his own too, so pretty much all the drivers have had incidents so far in this race, apart from the top 5. And there's Scuderia Sam exiting the pits, but Alex is coming down straight at high speed, and they go side by side into turn 1. Alex goes round the outside, and Scuderia Sam now has got the inside for Druids, and it's wheel to wheel as they go up to Druids corner. And Alex Igniel is going to have to cede the position there on the inside, and they touch a little bit, but Scuderia Sam managed to maintain the 7th position there after their pit stop. So this is going to be a fantastic battle now between these two. Scuderia Sam up on 2 wheels, and they both run a bit wide. But these two drivers are very evenly matched. You'd have to say that Alex CDL has probably got a slight pace advantage around this circuit in these cars. But Scuderia Sam has been driving very consistently, apart from that mistake that he made. And now Alex CDL's trying to look on the inside as Scuderia Sam ran a bit wider at the last corner. Coming down the main straight now to start lap number 10 here. And head into turn 1. And Alex CDL brakes very late for that turn, and then he releases the power of that Ford Z-Tech 1.8 litre straight 4-6-speed engine down the hill and up into Druids. Now they're coming down into the Graham Hill bend. It's a very tricky bend now. It's a little bit off camber, and you need to try and hug the inside but without touching the curb, and then get on the throttle as early as you can. Oh, Scuderia Sam looking very leery there. Oh no, Alex CDL too. Oh dear. And they both nearly had a bit of a synchronised spin, but Alex CDL's lost a bit more time there, look. And he's going to have to catch back up again, and there's a bit of a gap formed now between the two of them. Meanwhile, up ahead, Unfixed Throne is keeping tabs with Stuart Davis. He's not letting him get away at all. And this is Chris Doherty now. He's chasing after BTCC Dan in that blue car, you can see. And that is D-Man coming up to lap BTCC Dan. And I think BTCC Dan just let him through there. And I think he realises that it's the other green car that he needs to try and keep behind him. Oh, BTCC Dan, oh, he's run very wide. And he's done exactly the same thing that Scuderia Sam did a few laps ago. Coming out of Graham Hill bend, running wide onto the grass. And now Scuderia Sam's had an incident again. He's spun round. He's hit one of the boards. Oh dear, this is terrible news for him. And that's Chris Doherty going through, and I know that was D-Man 221 actually, and there's Chris Doherty. So yeah, Scuderia Sam has been lapped here already on lap 11 by one half of Team Island, and he's got the other half of Team Island battling for 7th position with him. Scuderia Sam, of course, is part of a team called Team Notmates with Cherry Berry. Cherry Berry's doing very well at the moment, not making any mistakes. He's just 6 seconds behind D-Man 221 in 2nd position. Stuart Davis is 10 seconds behind the leader now, with Unfixed Throne 11 and a bit seconds behind, so could be a battle for 3rd and 4th before long. Bass Ninja's driving a very tidy race 2 and 5th. Alex CDL has had a couple of incidents, he's in 6th. Chris Doherty has, of course, had a couple of incidents too, and so has Scuderia Sam, so they've all got ground to make up here. So some of the favourites, you'd have to say, before this race started, have all been in trouble in the early stages of this race, and they're all doing damage limitation now. But it's D-Man 221, he's not going to care much about that. He's very happy to take as many points as he can, and he's lapping very quickly indeed in the low 51s. These cars are absolutely perfect for close racing. The 800 kilo, 165 horsepower, 5.1 seconds 0 to 60. They're very lightweight, they're very good at cornering, and they're relatively easy to control, although you wouldn't say that looking at the amount of incidents we've already had here in this race, but they are relatively easy to control. But there are 2 setups the drivers can go for, although setups themselves are banned for this championship, like they have been for the other 14 races we run before this championship on Xbox. They can still choose between stable or loose setup, as we see our leader D-Man 221 coming in the pits, and Cherry Berry takes the lead, and the Scuderia Sam closing on Chris Doherty. So they can choose between a loose or stable setup depending on what will suit the track or their driving style more. Of course, if you've got a loose setup, you're more likely to lose control of the car over the curbs and stuff, but it could give you a pace advantage. So it's yeah, it swings and roundabouts really. You need to try and choose wisely what setup you're going to go for, and a few of these drivers I think have gone with a loose setup today and trying to get as much time as possible, and it's come back to bite them. And I'm not quite sure what setup Cherry Berry's got, but oh look, oh there's an incident, and that's Chris Doherty. He's come together with the Big Bad Wolf. Big Bad Wolf I think had an incident, and as they rounded the last corner, and Chris Doherty there tried to go on the inside, and Big Bad Wolf's trying to get out of the way of both of them, and he took him out and nearly took Scuderia Sam out too, but he's managed to get through okay into 7th. And Chris Doherty's lost loads of time now, and now he's behind BDCC Dan as well. It's a terrible race for Chris Doherty. After so much promise in qualifying. I'm going to see a replay now of what happened. This is on board with Big Bad Wolf. And he just lost control on that curve there, look. Just hit him hard, and that's the worst possible outcome that could happen if you get on that curve. And now he's going to come back on the circuit. He's looking at his emergency with the car. Now he lets one of them through. Now he thinks it's going to be a track. Oh, and just slammed up on the inside. Oh dear, that was very close indeed. It could have been a secondary accident there. That's very unfortunate for Chris Doherty. And Big Bad Wolf, I think he's just having a few handling issues with his car here today. Of course, he's famous for enjoying a bit of rallycross on the grass, but I think even for him, he's doing a little bit too much of it today. He's down in 10th position. Unfortunately, Crazy Stewpot is out of this race. So I think he might have lost connection. Crazy Stewpot, that's a shame. There's always action around Crazy Stewpot, he's a fan favourite. And Cherry Berry, he's driving a very consistent race here in the lead. 5-6 seconds ahead. Oh, he's pulling away from Stu Davis. I think Stu Davis is in the pits. Yes, he is. There he is, in the West Wales karting liveried car. The orange and black livery there. And it'll be interesting to see where Stuart comes back out. Of course, D-Man 2-1 has gone straight ahead, but how close is he going to be to Unfixed Road? There's Unfixed Road coming around the last corner. He's got Big Bad Wolf for company, so we better watch out. And Big Bad Wolf just lets him through there, I think. Lifting off on the inside. And you can see Stuart Davis there just in the distance going around the first corner, coming out of the pit lane. So Unfixed Road is still behind Stuart. And the gap has actually increased slightly, I think, but it's not too big. It's still only a couple of seconds, so Unfixed Road here is all to play for, to try and nab 3rd position away from Stuart Davis. Baz Ninja's in 3rd at the moment, but he's yet to make his pit stop. And Baz Ninja's doing a very fine race indeed. We haven't seen him feature much in the last few races near the sharp end, but he's having a very good race here today. He's enjoying these cars, he's enjoying the track. And if you look back through the previous 14 races we ran on this of these virtual races, it's quite interesting looking at the points scenario, because it can give you a bit of an idea of who the favourites might be for this championship. And you have to say, a few of the favourites here, Scuderia Sam and Stuart Davis and Alex CDL, were 1st, 2nd, 3rd if you added all the points up from the previous races. And at the moment they're all having issues. Stuart Davis is driving very solidly in 4th at the moment, which could become 3rd very soon, as Cherry Berry's made a stop now as well. But yeah, Alex and Scuderia Sam have had issues, and Cherry Berry is having a fine race too. He's multiple winners, one of only 3 multiple winners of the previous 14 races, alongside Alex CDL and Scuderia Sam. But we've had 7 different winning drivers in 14 races, so that shows you how competitive this field of drivers are. Of course, we've been running different tracks, different cars as well, and this championship is just going to be in these Ginetta G40s. So we'll see if they favour one driver over the other. Of course, D-Man 2-1 is very happy so far in these cars, I think. He's got an 11-second lead over Cherry Berry, so he's pulled it out over the pit stops by lap 19 here of 28. It's a long championship. It's going to be run over 9 rounds, and it's all to play for in the next 9 rounds of the championship, held every Monday and Thursday. So D-Man 2-1 is off to the best possible start here so far. He just needs to make sure he didn't get caught up in anyone else's mistakes, I think, because otherwise he's got this race sewn up. And now he's in the middle. He's going to come up into the middle of the battle between BTC Sedan and Chris Doherty. Oh no, Chris Doherty! Chris Doherty has crashed again. That is a shame. I think he did exactly the same thing that BTC Sedan and Scuderia Sam have done, just getting on that curb a little bit too much on the outside of Graham Hill Bend. And he can just be a bit too eager with the throttle through there, and then get up on the curb at the wrong angle with the wheels still turning a bit, and you just break traction and round you go. It's very easy to do. And D-Man will have to be make sure he doesn't do that. Because it could wipe out his 12-second lead over Cherryberry if he does. But if you look at the average points per race of the last few races, Chris Doherty, although he hasn't done all of the races that we've run, he's got the second highest number of points per race out of all of them. So Chris Doherty there, he's going to feature in this championship for sure. So Team Island are looking very good shape indeed. But you can't rule out anyone yet. It's very early days. Qualifying was raining as well. So it's going to be random weather for qualifying for all of the races. So that will shake up the grids, and you never know what can happen. D-Man 221 is in a commanding lead now, pulling out to 12 seconds. He's only got 6 laps left to go. He's been lapping cars, and he must be enjoying himself very much right now. And Fixtron must be enjoying himself too, because he is pushing really, really hard to try and catch Stuart Davis, and Stuart Davis will know he's there, because that yellow car is not very easy to miss when it's in your wing mirrors. And you can see in the background too, Alex CDL that is, and Scuderia Sam, they're both catching this pair. So it shows the pace that they would have had if they hadn't had their incidents. Scuderia Sam though, 151.3 on that last lap. That was only bettered by the leader, 150.9. Alex had a little bit of a messier lap, 52.1. Let's see what he does this time round. 51.3, that's more like it. 51.2 for Scuderia Sam. And the drivers ahead are 51.7 from Fixtron and 51.2 for Stuart, so they could catch Unfixed. Yeah, I think Stuart's pulling away from Unfixed a little bit. Unfixed doesn't get flustered, he just drives a very solid race, very clean racer. And he's just like the Iceman really. I think maybe we should start calling him Iceman, to be honest. He very rarely makes a mistake, and I don't want to put the commentator's curse on him, but he rarely makes a mistake. So it's just going to be down to how fast Alex and Scuderia Sam can drive now, I think, to see if they can catch him or not. I don't think they can rely on a mistake from him. Stuart Davis, up ahead. He has been known to make the odd error in the late stages of races. It's cost him a couple of wins as well, even. But the drivers don't think about this when they've just got 4 laps to go. They are just pushing as hard as they can, because you never know what can happen. If you look back down the timing screens there, you can see Baz Ninja's lost connection, unfortunately. Baz Ninja was having an absolutely storming race. He was in the top 5, and it's a big shame for Baz Ninja. He would have had a fantastic result and a big haul of points here today. But unfortunately, this is going to be a feature of the championship. And look at this, Chris Doherty now is battling away with BDCC Dan again, so he's caught him back up after his incident. So he's clearly got the pace over BDCC Dan, but BDCC Dan is defending solidly here. He's got another 4 laps to try and keep Chris behind him, to keep that 7th position. And the line you take out of that corner very much influences how much speed you take onto the straight and then up into up the hill here into Paddock Hill Bend, which is probably one of the most demanding corners on the circuit, because it's a blind exit and you've got that big gravel trap waiting to get you on the outside. And Chris Doherty's trying to squeeze through on the inside there, but BDC Sedan was wise to it and he covered it early. And you can see Chris, he's just swarming all over the back of this blue car, trying to find a way through. So this must be very hard work indeed for BTC Sedan to keep him behind. You see that car in the background, there's Cherryberry. So he's coming up to lap this pair. I don't know if he'll get them before the race ends. He's certainly not going to get D-Man 221. He's 15.7 seconds ahead now. Absolutely dominant. Oh, and there's Chris Doherty. He's on the grass. He got pushed against the wall a bit there. You can see how desperate he is to try and find a way through. But he's not managing to do it at the moment. Dan knows exactly where to place his car, and oh, he didn't place it that well there though. Look, he just got shoved wide. I think Chris made a bit of contact with him. BTC Dan got shoved wide coming out of Druids, and that's given Chris the advantage, and he's gone through there on BTC Dan. So Chris now up into 7th position, which isn't bad considering he's had, I think, 3 accidents. Scooter Sam has had 2 accidents. Alex has had 2, I think, as well. BTC Sedan has had one accident. Big Bad Wolf. Well, I'm not gonna be mean here, but he's had too many accidents to count, I think, which is why he's down in 9th position and 2 minutes 20 off the lead. So a few laps down. But Big Bad Wolf, he knows how to race. He knows how to drive quickly. Just sometimes he goes looking for a cup of tea off the circuit a little bit too much, and now we look at D-Man 221, comes around the last corner on lap 28 here, and D-Man 221 crosses the line to take the win here in the first ever race of the West Wales Karting Virtual Championship. Fantastic race by D-Man, absolutely dominated it from pole position, and Cherryberry here drove a very fine race indeed to come in 2nd, very unflustered. Very solid. And this is Alex CDL. Look, he's right behind the unfixed throne for 4th and 5th, but the unfixed throne just keeps it across the line, and Alex was very close. I think another lap there, he might have been in trouble, unfixed throne. Stuart Davis came in 3rd, and there's Scooter Sam destroying some of the advertising boards across the line in 6th position. And you can see confirmation of the result there. Team Island taking the win. Team Not Mates, Cherryberry in 2nd. Team Stewart with Stuart Davis is in 3rd, and then Team Unfixed CDL 4th and 5th. The other Team Not Mates, Scooter Sam in 6th, Chris Doherty 7th, and the podium there, fastest lap D-Man, a 50.5, a very quick lap indeed. Not as quick as some of the laps we were seeing in practice before this race, but still a very, very fast lap time. And then the Drivers' Championship is, well, it's just the race result because there's only been one race so far. So D-Man taking the full 25 points that were on offer. Run into the same point system as the Formula 1 Championship. 25 for the win, 18 for 2nd, 15 for 3rd, down to 10th. Team Island there hold a 5-point lead over Team Not Mates. Team Unfixed CDL in 3rd, Team Stewart are in 4th, Team Crash and Bash in 5th, and Team Hell Ninja with work to do and 0 points in 6th. But there's plenty of races still to come, so join us next time.